All right, Bulls and Bears. Hey there. Today is Tuesday. It is May 30th, 2023. Back with another dose of you know what. Let's go ahead and get into the economic financial news. The economic collapse continues. Yes, there was a agreement on the debt ceiling. Now it still has to go through some of the process, some more steps here. There has to be a passage by Congress, and I really doubt that anything's going to stop the bill. And actually, it puts, from what I read here, it uncaps, or it keeps the debt ceiling from coming up again for 2 more years. So it's perfect for the current administration. That way, they can go ahead and just spend however they see fit without any worry about another debt ceiling impasse or debate. Now we've got the typical left versus right bickering happening here, with one side saying no, you're spending too much, but the side that's saying that, of course, when they were in power, so to speak, they didn't speak out against the spending then, right? So this is all about making themselves look better, because when you can spend a whole bunch of money, your particular party or whatever side of the aisle you're on is going to look better if you're the group that's in power, right? So it's pretty ridiculous that that's what the American way has become, but that's what it is. It's spend and pretend, and the people that spend the most, they get to put out all these programs and make things look better to try to get people to support them in the future, because they want to keep their jobs, of course. And again, we have to talk about this. What person or group is going to say no, we're not going to pass the debt ceiling, and that way the news can go ahead and point to that person as the reason or the blame for grandma and grandpa not getting their monthly check, right? Who's going to put themselves in that position, right? It's crazy. No one would do that. But there's some things in this that ought to be a concern to certain people, students. And this is something, we've talked about for a while here. Student loans are going to have to start being repaid once again. Student loan payment pause is gone under the current debt ceiling deal. So you're going to see millions of people really go into some big financial turmoil here. This is reported out of Yahoo via The Hill. These people have been on pause since the health crisis, basically just after the health crisis. So we're talking over 3 years. And now they're going to have to start repaying this if that part of the bill sticks. Now, what's in the bill has been finalized, so to speak, but they could always come back for some last minute changes from what I read here. We'll see what happens, but there's going to be a lot of students in big trouble. These students already, not only can they not pay their student loan debt, they're getting further and further in debt each month. We're talking about the younger millennials, and it's just not going to look good for a lot of people. A lot of first-time home buyers are going to be priced out of them. They're already priced out of the market, but there's going to be a long time before they're going to be able to get back into home buying position if they're going to have to start repaying these student loans. So we're going to keep an eye on that, of course. There's no denying it. Gold is hot right now. Prices are soaring, and experts are predicting even more to come. Not so long ago, gold reached its all-time high of $2,069 per ounce, and now it's inching even closer to that number again. Bank of America, one of the largest banks in the world, is saying that gold will rise further still to over $2,200 an ounce later this year. So what, right? Well, gold is already a safety net for your hard-earned money, and now when the stock market is all over the place and the value of the dollar is uncertain, being safe counts like never before. Noble Gold is offering a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin for any qualified IRA or 401k rollover. Terms apply. A solid silver U.S. Mint issued coin celebrating our national parks, free with every qualifying precious metals 401k or IRA rollover. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold investments. Call 877-646-5347 or go to bullboomgold.com. That's bullboomgold.com, link down in the description of this video. A few other things we want to get into today, and there's quite a bit of talk out there about the U.S. credit rating. The U.S. credit rating, which is a big, it's a joke. The fact that we have a AAA rating while we're the world's largest debtor nation in itself is a joke, right? So if you have to always keep on taking on more debt just to function, is that really a sign of strength, or is that a sign of weakness? It's the ultimate sign of weakness. But yet we get a triple A rating. It should be a triple F rating because it's about the worst you can imagine, right? A country that can't pay off its own debt, that always has to increase the debt. Now we're going to have more. There's going to be a bigger bill just to pay off the interest on the debt than we're going to take in each year. So it's the whole thing's a big joke, and just most people just don't recognize what's happening. All right, now let's transition a little bit into prepper land, is what I call it, or Prepperville. Let's call it Prepperville. Prepper meaning preparing for a disaster, a big shutdown or blackout event, and that has to do with finances, right? Because in that sort of event or situation, you want to have some money out of the bank. So it's all connected, really. So when you're preparing for something, you want to be financially prepared, and to be prepared as far as having food and a way to survive, during some sort of drastic event. It takes money, right? You have to buy things to prepare. So it definitely has to do with finance. That's why it's, I think, an integral part of any discussion regarding economics and finance. So here's what the hardcore preppers, I mean, there's some preppers out there that I've been watching their video for years, and every other video is saying there's some sort of imminent disaster, war is on the horizon, war is going to happen this week. So a lot of it is just a lot of, some people have called me a fear monger, but I'm just a tiny fraction of what some of these people out there, have been doing for years, and some of them being very successful as far as getting views. But here's something that has been talked about a lot in the quote unquote prepper community. And this is reported out of many news outlets. This one's out of CBS. I'll read you the headline. Senators issued satellite phones, offered demonstrations on upgraded security devices. So this is being looked at or being talked about or discussed as a reason to prepare, because there's going to be an imminent disaster, a war, a big grid down situation, or compromised financial system where somebody hacks into the system, right? So they're saying that they're issuing these phones that way when the phones go down, or the phone towers, the mobile phones, they'll have these satellite phones to still be able to communicate. And these were issued to, or been offered rather, to all 100 senators. 50 have accepted the phones. So I'm not sure if that's across party lines. Maybe one party accepted them, the other one didn't. It's very strange if you get offered a free phone, why you wouldn't accept it. So why 50 out of 100 accepted it, I don't know. Maybe if you know, please let me know down in the comments. But I read 3 articles on this and didn't actually answer that question. It showed the numbers, but it didn't answer the question. So very strange. Please let me know what you think, if you've heard about why they all just didn't accept it. But also let me know what you think. Is this a sign that something big is about ready to go down? Is there going to be a blackout of the financial system? Is it a power grid type of thing? Should we all be getting running to the bank and getting some money out of the bank? Please let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Right, I'm not the one to research, what type of imminent hacks are coming. I've always said be prepared, prepare for the worst. And even me just saying that, people have called me a doom and gloomer and a fear monger. But when you see what a lot of these other channels are out there saying, I mean, there's people out there with a duct tape on their windows and doors because they think the nukes are going to be flying here anytime. All right, let's transition once again here. Let's talk about this forecast out of UBS. Here's the forecast. More than 50,000 stores will close by 2027. So by the beginning of 2027. So that only gives us the rest of this year, which is almost halfway over. And we've got the full year 2024, 25, and 26. So UBS is saying in about 3.5 years, 50,000 retail stores are going to close. So you thought I was negative on my forecast. Maybe you should email UBS and ask them why they're so negative, right? Because they see what's happening. Consumers are either tapped out or on the way to being tapped out. So much debt, so much credit card debt, interest rates that are really punishing people that are carrying debt month to month, especially on credit cards. This economy is going to continue to go downhill, and it's going to continue to accelerate faster down the hill. But imagine 50,000 more retail stores closing, and think about what's happening right now. What's the hot news item right now, or news talk, is people boycotting stores and products because of the whole rainbow product line and the whole alphabet community appearing on cans and stuff like that, right? So, I'm for the free market. If you think something's so bad where you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. A lot of people like the product enough where they'll buy it no matter whose picture appears on the box. So if you love the taste of Bud Light that much, maybe they can put the devil himself on the beer can and you would still drink it because you just love the taste of it so much. So that's a whole nother topic. But think about this. With all these retail stores closing down, is it only going to be the mega stores that remain? What if your only choices are maybe 5 or 6 mega superstores? Maybe it's just going to be Walmart, Target, the Dollar Tree, and Kohl's, and you might not have many other choices with this many stores going out of business. And then you'll be forced to shop there because there won't be that many alternatives. Yes, there'll always be some alternatives, but your choices may be very limited if we see Armageddon in a lot of these smaller companies. And then who knows, the big companies might go buy these smaller companies, kind of like we're seeing in the banking system right now, where we have the big mega banks basically bailing out or buying some of the failed banks. You could see a lot of the same thing in the retail sector. And then you're going to have, basically monopolies taking over the market, and they can market all the rainbow clothes that they want to, and you'll have no other choice but to shop at these stores. You see what I'm saying here? So it's not good when choices are limited, because then you end up boycotting the only game in town. And what are you going to do? You're going to have to start living off the grid and being completely self-sufficient if you're not going to shop at any of these stores. See what I'm saying here? All right, this whole thing with the boycotting, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty wild. We'll have to keep an eye on it and keep you updated on what's going on here. The latest store, though, was Kohl's. Also, Target was big. People were talking about, not shopping there anymore. Not just not buying those particular products, but not shopping there altogether. But what are they going to do when they don't shop at Walmart or Kohl's, and now Target? Where are they going to go? I mean, where are you going to buy your clothes at? Everybody's going to go online, and then online, maybe they're going to put out those products, and then people will boycott Amazon. Who knows, right? It could get really, really wild and crazy. Well, let's go into real estate here a little bit. Topic we'd like to talk about here in this channel, because as real estate goes, the economy goes, and prices dropped again in April. But let's first talk about China, then we'll jump over here to the US. Here's what's happening in China. There's such a big real estate slowdown in China. They're introducing, quote, negative down payments. Negative down payments. It doesn't sound too crazy when you look back at what happened here in 2008 here in the US. So essentially, instead of having a down payment, you get paid for taking out a mortgage and buying a home. It's kind of like those cashback at closing deals that we saw that were really prevalent back before the housing bubble went bust in 2008, 2009. So it's just a different scheme to keep the bubble propped up, and that's what's happening in China. Let's talk about U.S. home prices here. And there are some cities, or at least a city, that has dropped in the median price, $220,000. And folks, that is San Francisco, California. Imagine buying a home in San Francisco. First of all, what were you thinking when you saw the tech bust begin almost 2 years ago? Why would you buy a home in a city that's so heavily dependent on tech workers? And one of the reasons why home prices are so high there is because of the tech industry. But here's some other cities that are seeing huge drops. Also in the Bay Area, Oakland down 16%, and that represents $174,000 price drop in the median price. San Francisco, that is 13.4% for that 220,000 number. Los Angeles here, 7.8%. That is a $70,000 price drop. Seattle, Washington down 9.4%. That represents $80,000 drop in the median price. Salt Lake City, Utah down $60,000. That's almost 11%. Boise, Idaho down $80,000. That's 15%. Austin, Texas down 15%. That makes $85,000 off the median price. Over to the east side of the country there, Philadelphia is down $12,000. That's a 4% drop. My question, though, would be to home buyers, look out for buying in these big metropolitan areas, because the exodus that you're going to see because of many reasons. One of them is the crime problem. More and more people are going to be selling their home and trying to get out of these cities and going out to a safer, more rural area. We just talked about a couple reports ago how the Dollar Tree was contemplating on, they are contemplating on going to even a higher price. We already saw the price go from a Dollar Tree to $1.25 right now, and what's the next stop? $1.50? Will they bump it up 50 cents? Will it be $1.75 tree? Who knows? But one of the big reasons they talked about, the reason behind the possibly raising prices is because of the theft, or what they refer to in that article as shrinkage. So very interesting. So when it comes to real estate, I would also ask you, if you're thinking about buying a home, what's going to stop prices from dropping? Is there going to be a bunch of new home buyers that are going to be in a position to buy that weren't in a position before? Well, it's not going to be the students, because they're going to have to start repaying their student loans if this whole debt ceiling agreement stays as is, as far as that part of it. So there goes millions of potential first-time home buyers. They're going to have a much more difficult time now. So if you're thinking about jumping into real estate, be very, very careful. There's a lot of news articles out there talking about this is the bottom and that prices are stabilizing, and that things are looking hot once again. And, it's not going to be, you might see some delays or slowdowns in the decline. And there are some cities that are even going up right now, right? Each area is different. But overall, be very, very careful if you're thinking about buying a home right now. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here. You might want to get yourself prepared if you're not already. Maybe a few extra cans put away, because I'm not sure about all the prepper situation that we talked about earlier in this video. But anytime you're unsure, that just means prepare a little extra, because you never know what could happen. Be careful out there. Keep stacking. We're going to come back for more news. We'll be back tomorrow with another update. Please give us a like and subscribe if you'd like to support this channel. You support us just by being here, just by watching. Either way, thanks for being here. Everybody keep stacking. Big love. Bye for now. Peace.